Hi everyone and welcome to my Unfiltered 20s.
A podcast about the ups and downs, highs and lows and realities of life in your 20s.
With me, Abbey Parker.
And me, Lucy Martin. We're back after a week away. Back and ready to do it all over again.
Yes.
Apologies that we did not have an episode out last week. Deadline season, stress, dissertation, exam, essay stuff, any final years will...
Lucy's eyes drying up.
Oh my god. I don't know what's happening to me. I'm like, literally, what's the word? Like, my body is like declining. Like,
right.
It's like
you're melting.
Yeah, because I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but I think I told you, like, I started getting this twitch in my right eye.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, literally, my eye, like, twitches a lot.
Right.
But then I've always had, like, hay fever in my eyes, but not anywhere else. Like, I don't really get it in my nose and stuff. So I put on hay fever. I only use them in the summer, like, these, like, drops. And then that went away. So I think that was just the hay fever. But
what, your eye was just trying to itch?
Yeah. The dry eyes is the stress. And then...
Yeah.
I don't know whether... The gurgling is also the stress.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
And a pain in my shoulder. And, yeah, so... I've just made myself so stressed that...
Yeah.
My body cannot take it.
I had, what day would it have been? Sunday. I had a migraine. So then I was like, oh no, I can't do any work.
Self-care.
But exactly, because Saturday I was like, I'm going to take a day off. Because my sister, she's revising for A-levels. But she's like, I'm taking a day off. So I was like, you know what, I'll take a day off with you.
Yeah.
So then we like played this on the Switch and stuff.
That's cute.
Exactly, yeah. But then I woke up the next day with a migraine. Because I was like, I'm stressed, I haven't done enough work. Then I had a migraine. Also, I think it's hormonal though, because apparently, right, some women are more sensitive to their drop of estrogen at the end of their cycle, or I guess the beginning. So then periods can trigger migraines, basically.
Oh, okay. I mean, I also get like a migraine 3 days a month.
Right. So what, 3 consecutive days?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know, but I don't know whether that is the pill.
Exactly. Well, if it's like a few days before you get, then it's probably estrogen related.
Oh.
Because it drops off a few days before you start.
Right, okay. That's interesting.
Because I was reading up about it, because I was like, I'm pretty sure it's every month.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, this is my thought process.
Yeah.
Should I be talking about this on the internet? I think so.
No,
it's good for people.
Exactly.
I'm thinking I should start... Because the doctor's like, you can take it for 3 months or just continuously without having to stop.
I'm scared to do that though, because I don't know what it's going to do. Like,
I know, but I'm thinking I should try out taking it for 3 months, because then it might, because then I wouldn't drop in estrogens, and then maybe I wouldn't get migraines.
That's what the people that take it for like periods and stuff do, isn't it? Like people that take it for like skin problems or periods and stuff, they take it constantly. So I feel like that's a good... Do not take our advice. This is just us.
Yeah, we are not, like in Sophia and Chintz's podcast, we are not medical professionals. We are just two gals having a chat. If you need any advice, speak to your doctor or GP.
What is your sister revise? Like, what is going on with A-levels? I feel like I don't really know.
Right, okay, so, listen to this. She does not have exams.
Okay.
They do not have official exams. She has... in-person assessments in the exam hall, but they are not exams, they are in-house assessments.
So like mocks?
Yes, exactly, they're like mock exams, but they're going to be used for their grades.
That's stressful still though. I feel like that's kind of not fair.
They're exams without the label, is what they are.
They've not had like basically their whole sixth form teaching and the stress of the pandemic. How can they?
Yeah.
If you are an A-level student, then good for you, because I would not be able to cope with that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think basically they're just not, like standardised, like each college or sixth form is setting their own, I guess.
I mean, they had a palaver last year, didn't they? So I would imagine they're trying to avoid the palaver this year, but it's still going to be a bit of a palaver, isn't it?
Because then you could say that, well, that college gave them really easy, or that they gave them really easy, exams.
Well, are you telling me, like, Eton and stuff aren't just going to give the kids literally the easiest stuff ever and then give them all A stars? Because that's what happened last year, isn't it?
Right.
All the private schools basically...
did better because they were better.
Yeah. And then it don't matter even if like a bad school, or not a bad school, but like a comprehensive or something, and they gave the kids 3 A stars, they'd still get moved down. It was a mess, wasn't it?
Right. So is that because they did it on the average student at the school or whatever?
What they did
in the past?
Yeah, they did it on... So the teachers gave them grades, which first of all, problematic, isn't it? Because, like, issues with discrimination and a lot of people, if you don't get on with your teacher, what do you do? And then those grades then got compared to previous performance. So if there'd been, like, 10 A-star, all A-star grades in the past, and they'd given 30 people all A-stars, then I would imagine they would have, like, knocked it down in regards to, like, the proportion and stuff. But then, obviously, private schools get the best grades, don't they, really? So it's easy for them to be, like, giving them all A-stars because that's what they get in the past, whereas, like, a really high-performing kid at a comprehensive that gets really bad results normally just gets knocked down. Right. Which was the palaver last year, and I would imagine will be a bit again.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, because as long as it's not how it usually is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're always going to be like, but what if it had have been in usual conditions?
Even next year, it's like, I would imagine the exams will go ahead next year, but they've not had
normal
their year
teaching.
12. Like, they've not had their GCSEs.
Yeah.
It's going to be a mess for, like, years to come, I think.
Imagine not having to do that 2 hour 15 English, whatever it was, exam.
It's character building.
That was like, we were all standing outside that exam like, we're about to go to war.
Yeah.
Like, this is Call the Troops.
Imagine not having to do your French, like, speaking exam.
Oh my god. I know. That was awful.
Not being put on the wrong side of the hall for your French listening exam and not being able to hear the thing.
It was Spanish, actually.
Spanish, I apologise.
I was not, basically, for people that don't... Have I even talked about my hearing on this?
I don't think you have.
Basically, I have no hearing in my right ear. And then in the exam hall, I was sat on the left-hand side, which meant that the disc was on my right, so then it had longer to... Would it have affected me? Arguably not, but it was something that... I mean, that exam as well was just a mess because the CD broke 3 times.
Oh my god.
So everyone was a bit frazzled.
Yeah.
So I think if I got I did get a bad grade, but the bad grade was probably because of the disc jumping rather than me being sat.
Okay. Yeah.
But, they could have just moved me, but whatever.
But my heart really goes out to anyone, like, improper, because I feel like students have had it bad this year and last year, and if anyone has seen the government have said, like, May 17th and relates to the issue of teaching already being finished, then feel free. But, like, I literally could not imagine being in, like, proper school.
I mean, my sister's been doing 1 week in, 1 week at home, which is almost, like, worse because it's changing every week.
Yeah, it's disruptive, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's the word I'm looking for.
You can't get in a routine and stuff.
Oh, that would stress me out.
Yeah.
It's like, I was talking to my mum about this the other day, like, the kids that have been born in the pandemic, right? Not necessarily the ones that have been born during, but, like, the, like, 2-year-olds now, how are they going to be affected? Because is it going to be beneficial that they've been with their parents the entire time, or is it going to harm them because they're going to have more, like, separation anxiety or something?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because Bowlby, the child psychologist, he said you need to, especially the first 2 years, you need to spend every second you can with your kid. Like, the more the better. So then he would be like, oh, the pandemic's been great for them. They're going to be so confident. They're going to be, all their social skills are going to be on point. But then you could also argue that actually they're going to be so scared when they actually meet another kid their age.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, they probably these kids probably haven't had any interaction with other kids and stuff.
Exactly.
Like,
it's freaky. So it'd be interesting. Is there going to be this random 2 years in when they get to GCSE age that they're going to be different? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm excited to see. One big social experiment.
Tell everyone how your experiment's been going for you this, Abbey. Give us an update.
I almost gave up. But it's okay, I've got 5 tomorrow. I'm going to go get them done.
You're gonna be exhausted, but it's going to be worth it.
Yeah. The thing, I'm just going to like, because there's like a few in the morning and then there's like 2 in the morning, 3 in the evening. So I'm going to transcribe the 2 in the morning during the day, put some music on, just try and vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Then the evening ones, I'm just going to have to like, I'll transcribe them tomorrow. Like Saturday, like I can't. It's so much. You got to transcribe it, you got to code it, you got to like do all this stuff with it, you got to put all these things in. You've got to update all these spreadsheets because it's all like different data and you can't have it all in the same place. It's a lot.
I couldn't do all that. I'd have no clue.
It's because they're kids, you know.
Yeah.
One interesting observation, real quick. Tigers don't exist. It's a lion. Like they see a picture of a tiger and they're like, oh yeah, the lion is blah blah blah. And then I had one kid that said every time they saw a sheep, said it was a horse. And then at the end I asked her which animal, like, did you see your favourite animal in the pictures? And she said, yeah, I like sheep. And I was like, what do you mean? You just called it your horse every time.
That's so funny.
I know, I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah. That's really interesting though, because like, I feel like with my stuff, it's not exactly like, you don't do the research and stuff yourself, whereas with you, it's literally like, oh my god.
Yeah. Anyway.
Have you seen the new Louis Theroux thing? Did you tell me about it?
Oh my god, I did. Yes.
You did tell me about it. It's good, wasn't it?
I thought it was great. I thought you know what? I did doubt Louis for a second. I'm not gonna lie. I thought, is he going to be biased towards Joe? And he was not.
No, he wasn't. It was kind of all the stuff about like Netflix kind of shocked me. You know how they basically own like all of the people. And they can't speak to other companies and stuff. I thought that was interesting, because I didn't know that was kind of thing.
I mean, clearly, Carol and... I can't remember his name. Jeff, is it?
Don was...
Doc?
Don was the one that...
Don, yeah. What's his name?
Jeff Lowe, right? Or her husband... Do you mean her husband now?
Her husband now.
Stan?
Jeff Lowe's the guy that bought the zoo, right?
I don't know.
Let me look it up real quick. Carol...
Yeah.
Asking husband. Oh, his name is... No. Yeah, his name is Howard.
Howard, that's it.
Howard, and then Don Lewis was...
The previous husband.
Yes.
I thought, you know
the
what?
one that disappeared.
I thought it was so interesting that Netflix had, like, basically, like... Because there was the interview with, like, one of the jurors from the trial, and, like, how they'd, like, Netflix had missed out so much of the stuff Joe had done to Carol, you know, like... And they were like... The world hates Carol, but they haven't actually seen like a lot of the stuff that, you know. I thought that was kind of interesting, because I was like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. I know, because Making a Murderer got accused of the same thing. They were like, they missed out so much of the evidence that they basically were accusing them of trying to make it look like he didn't do it.
Okay.
But then, like, Netflix were like, what do you want us to do, make a 40-hour documentary? Like, that we can't. But I do think it's interesting, because everyone walked away from Tiger King being like, oh, Joe's such a meme, or like, he's like, oh yeah, he's in prison. But I mean, I was like, he should be in prison. What am I saying? He should be in prison because he killed his tigers. But
everyone, honestly, I hated Carol Baskin after watching Tiger King, and then after watching the Louis Theroux one, I was like, oh, you didn't really get the whole story, to be honest.
Yeah. And it shows how good the lawyers are that they have, because they were allowed to be interviewed by Louis. So obviously they hadn't signed the same exclusivity thing, which is good for them, because now Carol's been on Dance with the Stars.
I know.
She's been everywhere. So her lawyers are... That's why Joe needed to get a better lawyer, because clearly he lost this lawsuit. He's in prison.
Yeah.
And they're thriving.
Honestly, iconic that he thought he was going to get pardoned, so they got like a limo to come and get him, and then he just didn't. That was so iconic.
It's the most Joe Exotic thing ever. The thing of Trump being like, oh, who's this? Like, Joe Exotic, I'll have a look at his case. Like, oh, that's what you're worried about on the last week of your presidency.
Yeah, I know. It's good though, would recommend. It's like a light-hearted take on Tiger King. It's not like a proper... Doesn't go into details of Tiger King.
Yeah. If you watched it, it's worth... If you watch Tiger King, it's worth watching this.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to talk about a lot of the things we've watched this week. We're going to talk about a lot of documentary stuff. Abby, do you want to talk about the art documentary we watched?
Okay. So, there's... What's it called? This is a Robbery.
This is a Robbery, yeah.
This is Robbery on Netflix. It's incredible. I'm obsessed with the case now. Like, I just want to know.
It was something different as well. Like, I've not watched an art sort of thing.
Yeah. I thought, it was really well done, like, because it was true crime. Yeah. Like, you were completely invested in, like, this case, and yet there was no one... Well, there were people killed involved, I guess, but, like, it was about an art heist, which I thought was really interesting. So when I was watching it, I was like, this is crazy. This sounds exactly like this other case I heard of. And then I was like, because they covered it on BuzzFeed Unsolved, and then I suddenly put it together that they're talking about the same case.
Yeah. I'd never heard of it. Which is crazy.
I'd only seen it on BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. I mean, can we say...
Yeah, I mean, for anyone that doesn't... Just a brief, like, summary. It's about, like, the art heist in, like, 1990 at the Isabella Gardner Museum. Is that what it's called? In Boston. And basically, not going to spoil it or anything, but, like, there was a lot of, like, things about the robbery that were a bit like, oh, it seems as if someone from the inside's done it, and then they were like, is it the Italian mob? Is it to do with, like, the IRA and stuff? Yeah. Like, yeah, it's very interesting. I wasn't expecting all that.
I know. I thought it was so... When they were talking about the mob, I was like, wow, it's deep. Like,
yeah.
And they were going into all these people, and I was like, this is so cool.
I know.
And the guy with the... I don't want to spoil anything, but you know the guy with, like, the bowl haircut? No, like, the guy with the mob guy with, like, the bowl haircut, and he had been in prison wrongly. I thought his story was interesting. I was like, wow, he's my favourite character out of all of this.
I know. The bit I like, it's not a spoiler, but, like, when they were like, oh, his wife was at a party and pulled the thing out of, like, her bra. She pulled the little...
The Rembrandt.
Yeah, and I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's really good. It's a great true crime thing without it being... It's not gory or anything.
No, it's kind of like some of the people that worked there as well were quite quirky, weren't they? Like, there was the woman, I can't remember, with the short hair, who was the security guard, one of the security guards.
Right,
or something.
yeah.
I thought it was kind of, I don't know, it was quite interesting seeing these kind of people as well, because I feel like I'm not really into, like, the world of, like, high art, fine art sort of thing, so it was very interesting learning about that, and learning about how museums operate and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy as well, their value if they'd gone to auction versus their street value.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess it's the same with anything though, because it's all, like, if you stole a bunch of diamonds, you wouldn't be able to sell them for their market price.
I just think it's crazy. Like, bit of a spoiler now. I'm going to spoil it a bit, so just skip ahead. But it's crazy how, like, at the end they were like, somebody like, if your granddad might have these paintings and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, they literally don't have a clue.
Yeah. So, you know, okay, yeah, this is a bit of a spoiler as well, so yeah, just skip. Karen skipping. But, so you know the guy who was on his deathbed and the lawyer was like, tell me and I can get you home.
That was
crazy.
He did,
yeah. So, but he did die, right?
Yeah.
So who's the guy in the wheelchair that they were like, when he dies, we might know more? Do you know what I mean? Is that the same guy?
I'm not, because I think he was, like, on his deathbed, but then they let him out and it sounded like he then met again in, like, a cafe. So I don't think he died, like, that day. So I feel like but then I don't know.
Because there's a guy that's, like, in prison or whatever, and they're like, when he dies, people might start talking.
Right, okay.
Because he might be the final guy you have to worry about, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't have a clue. Like, I can't even hazard a guess. Like, I thought it was
definitely that mob. It was definitely that gang.
Yeah. It was weird that they kind of touched on the idea that it was, like, the security guard, right? What was his name? The weird one with long hair.
Robert?
Yeah. They were like, oh, it was definitely an inside job. Like, he definitely... But then they didn't talk about it again. And I was like, so did he help them or not?
Exactly, because I thought maybe the mob intimidated him. It was like, we're going to kill your family unless you... Or maybe he was buying drugs from them and they were like, listen, we'll give you loads of free drugs if you do this for us. All you need to do is buzz us in.
Honestly, I feel like maybe he was just so high that he didn't know what was going on. Do you know what I mean?
Because the thing is, when I watched the BuzzFeed video, I came away from it thinking that guy's definitely involved.
Really?
But after this whole thing, I'm thinking, if he was involved, he didn't benefit from it, I don't think.
No. They put a lot of emphasis on him in like the second episode or something, and then just didn't speak about him again, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, they were literally like, oh, could it be the Irish mob connected to the IRA? There were loads
and then
of
he was like,
sympathisers.
no.
Yeah, this guy was literally like, it's ridiculous, and then they were like, moving on.
I was like, I'm pretty sure if like one of the key guys in the IRA is like, yeah, we never spoke about art, then he's not exactly going to be 100% telling the truth. He's going to try and deflect the blame, right?
Exactly. But I don't know why they didn't go into it more. I don't know. They were like, oh yeah, there was always guns and stuff going over in all these ships, and I was like, so why couldn't the art have been on one of the ships?
That's the thing. I feel like it was too short, actually. I will say that was one of the things. I think they could have made it a longer series.
Yeah, I think so. Because like you say, that could have been in Saudi Arabia. Well, okay, well, why don't you go into some of the people who have art in Saudi Arabia?
Exactly. Maybe they're gearing up for another series, like with more lead. I don't know.
They're waiting for that guy to die.
Yeah. Maybe they're going to make it a series about Art Heist. That would be good, wouldn't it?
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. Because there's all this stuff at the moment because I think they've recently recovered a Van Gogh or something, right? Or they're on the look for a Van Gogh. There's all this... Because there were a few missing Van Goghs. It's like, oh, you know what hurts me? There was this... One of the sunflowers, because he painted 4 sunflower pictures and then there were some drawings, I think. Mm-hmm. One of them got lost in a fire because the museum got bombed in World War II or something.
Oh my god.
I'm like, how could... Oh. But... Yeah. I mean, they have pictures of it, but they don't have the original anymore. Right. And then, like, one of the sunflowers is in personal possession. Like, someone has it in their private collection.
Oh my god. Imagine being that rich.
I know. Imagine owning a Van Gogh. Like, what even... Who? It's crazy.
I have a question for you. Do you think art should be a public commodity? Like, do you think art should have to be in museums, or do you think people should be allowed to have it in private collections? What do you think?
I mean, the artists that painted them sold it to people who wanted to put them in their homes. Mm-hmm. They didn't sell them to museums, at least not originally.
Yeah.
You know, not before museums were a thing. So it's almost as if, well, I guess, I don't know, I think it's fine for people, if you've got the money, I mean, because what's the difference then of buying this really famous painting if you've got loads of money versus buying some indie person that, you know, you see on the street? It's just different levels.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think, like, also I feel like if the family has been fine with it being sold, or, like, if they're fine with it in a museum, then that's fine. I think it's different to, like, obviously artefacts and stuff that is public.
Exactly.
Or if it belongs, as in many museums in the West that have stolen stuff from, like, being colonisers, then that's wrong. Yeah. But, like, with art, I feel like it is a commodity, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's... Yeah. The artist has sold it. It's not like... Yeah. Apparently, also, if you buy a piece of famous art not knowing that it's stolen, right? So, obviously, if it's famous, you're going to know. But if you didn't really have a lot of knowledge of art, so you didn't realise it was a famous painting, you didn't realise it was stolen, or you didn't realise it was the original or whatever, and you bought it, the museum can't legally take it back from you. But if you had knowledge that it was a stolen painting, then they can.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know
so
that.
if someone just, if it was floating around in the world somewhere and someone just bought it, then they couldn't legally take it back from them.
That's interesting.
I think, don't quote me on that, I'm not a lawyer.
It's a big issue, isn't it? Like, after the war, like, a lot of art was stolen, like, from Jewish communities and...
Oh, really?
Stolen, because the Nazis collected artwork and gold and stuff.
Oh,
and it was a big issue. They still basically don't have a lot of the pieces and stuff. They reckon... Well, I watched a documentary on it once. They reckon that they hid a lot of it in, like, tunnels in Switzerland.
Oh, okay.
But they can't find them. It's like a big thing. It's like a conspiracy. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy that it's just like art, and then it's like...
I know.
But just certain people are just like, oh yeah, that would be 200 million.
I know. I find that so odd. Like, who decides, like,
I know,
what it's worth and stuff.
Well, it's like it's the same thing, you know, people, when we were talking about NFTs, it's like digital artwork that you buy with crypto. It's exactly the same concept. It's only valuable when people believe it's valuable. It's the same as art. If suddenly Van Gogh's name was wiped from people's memories, people wouldn't care.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't care when he was alive.
It's true.
Poor guy.
I've seen the Doctor Who episode.
Oh, don't, I know. Sometimes I watch that clip when they take him to the National Gallery. I love it.
Yeah. Speaking of documentaries on Netflix, we were talking about earlier, there's a new one come out that seems a bit like Don't F with Cats or whatever. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
If anybody watched that one, which was creepy.
I stayed well clear of that.
Yeah, terrifying, disgusting. Also, do you remember like Bordy Moving became like a meme? Like for months afterwards, the woman, she was called Bordy Moving, and she could find literally anything on the internet.
Right.
She was kind of a legend, but yeah. The new one's what's it called again? We literally looked it up earlier, but I've forgotten.
Did You Kill Me?
Why did you kill me? Why did you kill me? Yeah.
Why did you kill me?
It seems that kind of vibe. We haven't seen it yet, but probably gonna watch it tonight. I will update. I'll tell you. Yeah.
I'm still very wary of true crime stuff after the Night Stalker. It's actually scarred me for life. Every time someone talks about it, I genuinely get triggered.
That's why the art
he
one
scared
was
me
good.
so much. Yeah,
the art one was good because it was just interesting. Bit like eerie with the actual robbery was kind of eerie. But I just find museums a bit eerie anyway.
Yeah.
But that wasn't scary.
Because I was watching the Frenemies podcast, and they were talking about, like, I can't remember what they were saying, like, oh, you shouldn't give serial killers such scary names or whatever. I can't remember. Oh no, they were like, they said it's because they were talking about James Charles and stuff, right? And they were like, it's always people say it's the people you don't expect, but it's always the people you do expect, right?
Yeah.
So then they were like the Night Stalker, like he was, you could tell there was something not right about him.
Really?
And then Trisha was like, oh, but he looked nice. He was like a handsome guy or whatever. And he was like, Ethan was like, yeah, but he stunk. Because he didn't shower, so he stunk. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you could tell there was something not right about him. And it just freaks me out so much.
Like the Yorkshire Ripper was a gravedigger when he was younger.
Stop.
And stuff. That's kind of, and he apparently, like he had I don't know, an angel appeared to him or something. And it's just like, you're right, people are always like, it's the person you least expect, but it's not. There's always something.
Exactly. Like the Night Stalker was like a Satanist.
Right. I'm never watching that programme.
Don't. I literally will never get over it for the rest of my life. Is he dead? I need to look it up.
I don't even know who it is because I'm too scared to look it up. You honestly...
Oh, he's deceased.
You should listen to this podcast just because we tell you which true crime shows are too scary to watch and which ones aren't.
Do you want to see a picture? No, you don't want to see a picture.
I don't. Alright, thanks.
He died in 2013. We're all safe, guys. Even though he's literally in LA, like... But there was this picture of him, like growling at the camera. He was going like that at the camera. It was awful.
That's terrifying.
They said... we're not going to talk about it. No. Let's just move on.
Anyway, I was going to talk about a film I watched this week, which was really good. If anyone's heard of the new Andy Samberg... What's the woman's name? The mother in How I Met Your Mother, what's she called?
God. Christina Milioti. Christina
Milioti.
No, you read it.
Christina Milioti.
Are we okay?
I know. It's been a long time. Yeah, they were both in it. It had also is her name Camila Mendes from Riverdale?
What, Veronica?
It had
Camila
Derek
Mendes,
Hale from Teen Wolf.
Oh my god. Were you serious?
Yeah, Tyler Hecklin, I think that's his name. He was in it.
Yeah.
He had a good cast, to be honest.
Wow.
I'm excited. It was, honestly, my boy was like, let's watch... Me and my boy have been watching Come Down With Me and Four in a Bed over FaceTime because we've run out of things to watch.
Okay. Yeah.
He was like, oh, there's this new film out, Andy Samberg, and I was like, oh, I don't know, like, I haven't really been in the film mood. But I thought it was going to be a rom-com, so I was like, yeah, okay, why not? It was literally amazing, like, the best film I've seen in ages.
Really?
I didn't know what to expect, so you said it's like, it's Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day, yeah.
Right, I'm not going to spoil it because I haven't seen it either, but literally amazing, like, didn't expect it. Also, the characters were so good, like, I don't know whether Andy Samberg wrote it and stuff, but
is he the guy from
Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah.
Right.
It was just so good, like really well written. I've never seen her in anything but How I Met Your Mother, but she was really good in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend. It's like a good wholesome film as well.
Yeah.
You'll really like it, I think.
I'm excited to watch it. That poor woman, she deserves more screen time on How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
I still haven't got over that. I haven't been able to rewatch How I Met Your Mother at all, like not even one episode, because I'm still angry.
Yeah.
But me and my boy are actually in the same place because we have run out of things to watch.
Mm-hmm.
We finished New Girl. I was really emotional. First of all, they had is this a spoiler? They had a time skip.
Really?
That's not a spoiler, is it? They had a 3-year time skip, and I was really angry. But I get why these programs do it, because they have to, because otherwise the story will just go stale. Like, I get it.
They don't work though. They don't explore the time skip enough for it to work. Because it's the same in Dawson's Creek. They do it at the end of Dawson's Creek, and I'll never forgive them. It was rubbish.
Right. Apparently, I mean, because the last series is only like 6 episodes or something as well.
Right.
So Ajahn reckons it's because they were going to cancel it, so they just skipped ahead and just like squeezed all this story into 6.
Right.
Like a few episodes. This series was actually half the length of the previous ones.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I was sad that it ended, because by the end the characters were so well developed. Like Winston, best character. I loved him. But I don't know, you just miss out on these key moments in all the characters' lives because it's such a big skip. Like, you miss out. I can't say, but you miss out on this one thing that I really wanted to see happen.
Okay. Don't spoil it, because I will watch it at some point.
Okay. It is good. The main character does get annoying. Jess does get annoying.
Okay.
But it's fine, because they do level it out in the end.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of shows do that. They focus on the character, and then actually everyone loves the side characters, and they open it up more. Yeah.
I feel like it's got to that point though where, like, we've been apart for that long that I'm like, we are fed up of watching the same kind of stuff. Like, Come Dine With Me is great, honestly. Bit of on Netflix, bit of chewing gum for the brain. You know, don't have to think about it.
Right. Yeah, chewing gum for the brain. Yeah. It's just nothing. We've run out of things to watch, and also my mum, and my sister watch like an episode of something every night. We just finished Merlin. I'm devastated.
Oh my god!
We finished rewatching Merlin.
My god!
The
Merlin
final episode.
Had such a big place in my heart. The final episode. We should rewatch it with your boy. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that. I haven't seen it since I was like 12.
It's incredible. It's as good as you remember.
Okay. Oh my god. I can't believe that.
Like, the final episode, we literally, the next night we come down, we're going to start something new, and we were all sat there, we were like, I've been mourning the past 24 hours, and everyone was like, yeah, I know, same. Because it's just such a good series.
What are you watching now then?
We started this thing called Cursed on Netflix, which has got, is her name Catherine Langford? Is that her name?
Is it about, like, Nimway?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched, like, 10 minutes of it, but I don't think I got into it. I don't know.
I wasn't that into it.
No,
but
it wasn't what I was expecting. Because I remember when it came out, it came out, like, last year, I think, and I remember thinking, oh my god, I'm so excited to watch it, and then I was like...
Well, the thing is, because we just finished Merlin, and Merlin...
Yeah.
I don't care what people say, what the legend is, I don't care.
Yeah.
What happened in Merlin, the series, is what happened.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? So then, in this Nimway thing, they're like, oh, this is before King Arthur. But then, like, there's this is all... We've only watched the first episode, this is all the first episode. There's this guy that says his name is Arthur, and he's a knight, but he's not Uther's son, because Uther's the king, and then Merlin's like 40, and I'm like, no, because I was just like, Uther didn't know that Merlin was a sorcerer in Merlin.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then he's like trying to get, in this episode, that he's trying to get Merlin to end this drought that's happening, and then these knights called the Red Paladins are going around killing fays, which are like people with magic, I guess. And then so I was like, oh, is this the Great Purge? Is this what they're talking about? Like, the Red Paladins are like the Knights of Camelot, and are they going around killing? Is that the Great Purge that they talk about in Merlin? it's cool because it's all like different variations of the legend or whatever, but I'm like, it doesn't line up with Merlin, so therefore I don't like it.
Do you remember when we watched Forbidden History and
yes.
we were like actually losing our minds?
I know. That's what it's called, Forbidden History. I keep saying, because my mum was like, so Arthur, like, how real is it? And I'm like, well, it's a legend, so you don't know. But like
Graham, according to Graham.
Yes. I was like, oh, they were. I couldn't remember because did he think that the Lake of Avalon was in Staffordshire?
Yeah, and then it's on the Welsh border, right? Or Shropshire. Right. It might be Shropshire, I think.
Oh, okay.
And then he thinks he's found like Camelot, right?
Yeah.
I have so many books on it, but I've just not read them. Like I used to be obsessed with like Arthurian legends.
Because I was saying that like Arthur is like the English translation of like some ancient Welsh name.
Yeah.
So they think, because Graham, good old Graham, thinks he's found Arthur the Knight.
That was when he's like, and his dad is Uther Pendragon. It translates to Uther Pendragon. I was like, what? Wow. Like, incredible.
But it's like, how does one? Who started the legend? Like, where did it come from? Where did it grow?
My theory, I agree with Graham. I reckon he was a real person, kingdom and stuff, and then it just became like a story because of like the monks writing it as a story, and then it got picked up by like the romance writers and stuff in like Middle Ages sort of thing, and then it became like a myth, you know.
Because there's like no evidence of Guinevere, right?
No, I don't think. I think Uther's real, and I think Arthur's real. I don't know whether they would be related. I don't know whether that's like too much of a stretch, but I reckon they were real kings and stuff.
Right.
But I just don't know whether the actual.
Right.
I mean, because
that's the thing that's the thing in Cursed. Uther is this young white king, and then the guy that plays Arthur is like a black or mixed race or something, right? So, I guess they could be related because the mother could be whatever, but it doesn't look like he's going to be related. No, because he's not living in the castle. He's just like a mercenary or something.
What if it turns out? I feel like it might turn out though that they are related.
It could do.
It could be like I don't know. But I get what you mean. It's not true to Merlin.
Yeah, exactly. But because that makes sense that some romance writer would be like, oh, when he fell in love with Guinevere, like that's what she wants to happen for her, kind of thing, or.
Because the first, like they said on Forbidden History, I can't remember, the first like recording of like Camelot and Guinevere and Nimway and stuff is in like some guy's story from like hundreds and hundreds of years ago and stuff. But I don't know.
Because this is the thing. Because in Cursed, Merlin is not a servant.
No.
So is that just in Merlin that he's his servant?
Yeah. Yeah, because in the traditional stories, he's like an old wizard.
Well, he does turn to an old wizard, doesn't he? He drinks his potion.
Any other Arthur stands out there?
I know.
Shout out to the guy who looks like Merlin from Oregon.
Oh god.
We have a little funny story, to be honest. I mean, he's not listening to this podcast. It's fine. If Aisha's listening, hi. When we were in first year, Abby's friend Aisha came to visit Abbey, and basically we went out and we met this guy who looks like Merlin.
He looks like Colin Morgan.
He is Colin Morgan.
Doppelganger.
Yeah.
What's it called?
And then I swear I must have seen him at least once a month. Every time we were at uni, I saw him. And I don't think he remembered me, but I remembered him.
No. We remember Colin Morgan. So we call him Colin Morgan. We don't know what his real name is.
We have no idea.
I can't remember what his name is.
No,
he must have told us, but I don't remember.
No, so shout out to you, Colin Morgan. Did we even... I feel like it wasn't until the next day. Or did we, like, recognise on the night that he looked like Colin Morgan?
Well, we took a picture with him, so I think we must have known.
Yeah, I think we did.
I think that's why we took a picture with him.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know why we would have a picture with a random guy, so yeah, I feel like that's the main thing.
I think that's why we probably told him he looked like Colin Morgan.
To be honest. I'd be flattered if someone told me that.
Exactly.
He was in The Crown. Do you remember? He was in one of the series of The Crown.
He was a journalist.
Yeah.
Love that. And he's Irish.
I know. I didn't even know that. I mean, I guess he kind of has an Irish name.
Yeah. Well, I know that... is it Bradley James? Is that his name?
Yeah.
People with two first names, I never know which way around it is. But he used to film like these behind the scenes when they were filming Merlin and stuff. So the only two clips I remember from these behind the scenes videos was him filming Guinevere.
Yeah.
And going, because her real name's Angel, right?
Yeah.
Angel, she's not an angel, like, whatever. That's the only, and then the only other clip I remember from these videos was Merlin was sitting, well, Colin Morgan was sat on this step in the castle reading, and then he was like filming him reading, and then the next clip is he's moved up like 3 steps in the shade because he was like, he's a little Irish pasty boy, they told him to move out the sun in case he burns, and then there'll be inconsistencies in the shot.
That's funny. I can't believe you remember that.
Tan. I know. And I remember the swords obviously aren't real, so they have to put the sounds in or whatever. Okay, real quick. The streamer, Ludwig.
Yeah, oh my god.
It stopped. It's finished.
Okay.
It's over.
Okay, good. So I'm glad for his like health.
It stopped our time. It stopped yesterday at 5 a.m.
Oh my god.
So I did not see the end of it.
I can't believe that. I bet he felt so weird when he stopped it.
Yeah, he went for 31 days. So he reached the upper limit.
Right.
So people were still subscribing, so he was like, any extra people, I'm just going to donate it to charity.
Yeah, that's good.
So he had like a big charity stream. So he raised loads for charity, but...
That's crazy. I guess not a lot else to do in lockdown.
Exactly. Well, they're in America, they're not even in lockdown.
Yeah, that's true.
So he was like, everyone was like, what are you going to do after the stream? He was like, I'm going to have an hour-long bath, and then I'm going to watch a film with my girlfriend. And I was like, that's so wholesome.
I bet his girlfriend is so sick of him.
I know.
That's crazy. I can't believe he's done it for that long. I didn't think he would, like, still be going.
I know.
Any other drama? YouTube, have you heard anything?
Okay, one thing. Basically, so you know Olivia Rodrigo, who wrote Driver's License? This is going to expose me for being a music snob. So I didn't listen to it for ages because I thought it was this stupid TikTok song by a TikToker. Turns out she's not a TikToker. She's an actress for the Disney Channel.
Yeah, she's in like the High School Musical program, right?
Do you know what its full title is?
No.
High School Musical, the series.
I'm gonna expose my boy because he loves it. Like he absolutely loves it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, maybe it's good.
I don't think it's for people our age demographic, but...
Exactly. It's for people that watch the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
And it's for 12-year-olds. Because it can't be nostalgic because it's new people, new songs, new school.
I have no desire to watch it whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know there's some good films on Disney Plus, just a side note, because obviously I've been using my boy's free 6-month thing. 27 Dresses. I haven't seen 27 Dresses in such a long time. I can't remember if I told you this, right? 27 Dresses is like the reason why I would love to be a wedding planner, and why me and you were like, oh my god.
Really?
Yeah, because of that film. Because I thought she was a wedding planner my whole life. I remember watching it when I was like 8 or 9, being like, oh my god, I'd love to do that. Love a bit of organising.
But she was just a bridesmaid.
I think she's just the bridesmaid, or I don't know though, because at the start it's like she's organising the weddings, right? But then I'm like, but why? Is the plot of the film didn't make sense to me as I watched it like 12 years later, because she's basically... Have you ever seen it? No.
I have seen it, but only when I'm younger.
So the journalist guy is like covering her, but if she was a wedding planner, why is he so bothered that she goes to so many weddings? I think she's like a personal assistant. I see. But I was like, I always thought she was a wedding planner, but I think they're all her friends.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That she was... But who is that close to 27 people that they would ask you to be their bridesmaid?
I know. But cracking film, I'll say that. And 10 Things to Hate About You on there as well. But yeah, carry on with your Olivia Rodrigo.
The wedding thing for me stemmed from Bride Wars.
Yeah, that as well. But 27 Dresses for me was like, I want to do that. But then I
maybe I need to watch that.
You do. Rewatch it, because it was like a completely different film, honestly. Still good though, still love it.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Olivia Rodrigo. Yeah, turns out she's a Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Prodigy or whatever. Why do I choose words that I can't say? But basically, I was like, I'm not gonna listen to it, whatever, stupid TikTok song. Then it came up on like my Spotify when you just let it play the radio or whatever, and it played this cover by this guy called Jaden, but his name is spelled like JXDN.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like this like I don't know, like emo pop kind of cover thing, right? So I was like obsessed with it because I was still listening to Machine Gun Kelly. I've randomly just stopped listening to Machine Gun Kelly. I don't know what happened.
Oh my god.
I'm sure I'll get back into it.
Yeah,
anyway.
you will.
So then, so I was like, oh, okay, this guy's cool, but he's only got like 3 songs. But if he's this talented, why would he only have 3 songs on his Spotify? Do you know why? Because he's a TikToker. So it came full circle. What did I do to myself? I didn't listen to it because it was TikTok, then it was TikTok. And then irrelevant. So I was like, okay, fine. I listened to the original. I'm like, oh wow, she can really sing. Then she releases this other song called Deja Vu, which I'm obsessed with, and I told Aisha to listen to it because it sounds exactly like Lorde, which I'm not a fan of usually, but apparently it's incredible.
Interesting.
Anyway, where was I going? This guy Jaden, I then see his name floating about because his new girlfriend is like, he had like an on-off relationship, and then his new girlfriend like snuck in, and basically it was all messy, and then he's now with her.
Okay.
But people were having a go at her because this is the second relationship she's inserted herself into in the last year.
Who's this girl? Is it?
Nessa Barrett.
Right, no.
And then her and Jaden have this song together, which is okay. So I was like, oh, I'm going to watch them perform it live on Jimmy Fallon or whatever. Absolutely no stage presence whatsoever.
Really?
She just stood there.
That's the thing with these TikTok singers, I think, isn't it? They don't have the stage.
Because she's gone, that's the thing, like a lot of performers will go from, they'll do small clubs or, you know.
And stuff.
Exactly. They've gone from their bedroom to Jimmy Fallon. And
whereas
she's got
the
no
other way around,
charisma.
Kind of, aren't they? Like, they literally go from being, like, a megastar blowing up on TikTok to then having to do TV performances and stuff. You're really in the TikTok drama now. I
didn't mean to be. I just stumbled across this one.
I do have a gripe with TikTok, right? I feel like, you know, I kind of love TikTok. It was, I resisted it for a while. It was a personality trait that I didn't use TikTok. And then now I love all the home renovation videos. I love the, like, aesthetic videos. But people don't know that songs aren't people's original songs.
Right.
Like, a song will go around on there and everyone will be like, oh my god, like, it's like, did you watch that video Hailey found with that girl in the car? They were, like, talking about how we became friends. No, okay, so that girl is a TikTok singer. And she has made out that she has literally made, you know the song in, have you ever seen 10 Things I Hate About You? You haven't, have you?
No.
But Heath Ledger, it's like a really famous scene, like, sings to the main girl, like, sings a song, and it's a song by Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, if you've heard of them. No.
It's fine, just continue.
Yeah, so Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons are, like, a band, like, in, like, I think, like, the 50s and 60s, 70s maybe. Really famous, literally. You've definitely heard their songs. Like,
well, I've heard you talk about.
Yeah, and they're like Jersey Boys. There's a musical about them. But this girl has made out that the song is hers, and like everyone on TikTok's like, oh my god, it's not hers. It's a song from like the 60s that she's like.
Wait. So she doesn't think that the person in the film wrote it. She's claiming that she wrote it.
Yeah. And people think that she, like, people are like, oh my god, like her song, and I'm like, it's not her song. Like, they do it with everything. I don't think people realise the root, like, it's a cover, basically. Because these songs blow up on TikTok, and then they're always covers, they're obviously, like, not the originals, but it's like, come on now.
It's like, I don't think people realise, you know, they made the edit for Doja Cat Streets for that silhouette challenge thing. I don't think people realise that the music at the beginning of that edit is Paul Anka, right?
Really?
Put Your Head on My Shoulders.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you mean now, yeah.
Do people think that's Doja's
that's the
edit?
Thing, right? People do, don't they?
Exactly.
They put these old songs together with, like...
Yeah, exactly. I think it's, like, I don't think people realise that hip-hop and rap and stuff is centred around sampling, right? That's how it was birthed. So when you listen to literally any rapper, the beat that they're rapping over is sampled from a different song.
Yeah.
So people think that these beats and stuff are original and they're not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it kind of then birthed this whole, I don't know.
It's true. I suppose the issue with TikTok is does encourage people to have short attention spans, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it doesn't encourage people to think beyond the video and the trend and stuff, which is a bad thing.
Because I think it's good. The system they have where you can see the original soundbite is good, but if that soundbite isn't original, then people just think, oh, that's theirs.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But it's like the song Sunday Kind of Love, right? That's going around on TikTok now, covers. That's like a really old song. Like
that's Etta James, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh dear.
And
I love that song. It's at the beginning of The Other Woman.
Yeah. 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 I feel like we sound like, oh my god, like boomers, like all these little kids don't even know.
I know. That's the thing. I know in 20 years I'm going to be like, do you know that's Paul Anka?
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, I don't know who that is. You see this guy in this black and white video?
Yeah.
The college admission scandals thing. Have you watched that?
I can't because I'll get too
angry.
I get too angry about education stuff and inequality in education. Apparently it's good though.
Yeah, it was good because it's like they've got actors to act out the real conversations that they heard through phone taps and stuff. So it is a bit weird because you're like, how have they recorded this? And you're like, oh right, they're actors, right? Yeah, but the guy that arranged it all was like, the kids didn't know. Most of the kids didn't even know that it was happening.
But at the same time, I kind of think if you're literally failing at school, your friends are not getting into these schools and they're cleverer than you, or they're getting higher grades than you, and then you've got to think to yourself, oh, mummy and daddy got a lot of money, maybe they've, you know what I mean?
I literally don't think they do that. Well, the thing, okay, so then Olivia Jade had the Red Table Talk. You haven't watched that?
No, I've heard a lot about her though, and obviously her mum was in like a lot of stuff, like Full House and stuff.
So she's a YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
So basically the uni, she got into UCU, right?
Yeah.
UCL. USC, that's it. God, there's too many letters.
Yeah.
And so the university called up her like sports teacher and was like, oh, she's doing whatever sport, like, can you tell me her involvement or whatever? And he was like, oh, that's weird because I don't think she'd have enough time to do that with her vlogging schedule. So that's like one of the things that started to like
unravel it.
But basically, it all got unraveled because this one of the dads or whatever got arrested on like an unrelated charge, and then to get out of that sentence, he was like, "I can give you some information about this college thing," and then he outed one of the coaches, and then one of the coaches outed the main guy. So then it all unraveled. Right. But Olivia Jade. So I didn't watch the original Red Table Talk or whatever.
Yeah.
I watched the body language guy on YouTube talk about it, and he was getting really angry. He was like, listen, I'm trying to remain impartial, but I don't like her. I don't like Olivia Jade. And she was like, I understand now, like, I understand it was a privileged situation, blah blah blah, but growing up in that bubble, you don't realise the privilege or whatever. She's like, every one of my friends made donations to schools. It was the normal thing.
It's
like, how can you think
oh, they are. I'm like, it's like you're 18 years old. You, at the age of 18, if you're telling me you did not realise that was wrong.
She posed for pictures to be photoshopped. I'm sorry, I'm winding you up.
Does she still have a YouTube, like, still make money from YouTube and stuff?
Yeah.
Sorry,
and she dropped out of college.
If you watch her and give her money, like, by watching the videos, then no, like...
Because the worst thing was she was on her YouTube channel when she was a senior in high school being like, oh, I hate going to school. And yet she still went to uni.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
So after it all came out, she never went back. She was like, I don't feel right going using that sport or whatever.
It does look really good. I can't watch it. I'll get too annoyed. Right, so have you got any final recommendations this week, Abbey?
Well, the art thing.
Merlin.
Merlin, yeah, Merlin. Watch Merlin, everyone. What about you?
Not a recommendation, but it's not I want to try. Have you seen Corn have started doing turkey dinosaurs?
I have seen that.
Yeah, that is something
Twitter was excited.
Yeah. So, try them, everybody, like I will be.
By the way, what was that veggie thing you tried a few weeks ago that you hated? You need to warn people off it.
What was it?
I don't know, you sent me something and you were like, I'm excited to try this.
Oh my god, okay. So, I saw on Sainsbury's that they do Meatless Farm, which is like a standard veggie brand. I don't know if it's the Sainsbury's own brand, it might be. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, they do like frankfurters, and I was like, oh my god, incredible, because I really miss, me and Abbey in second year used to make hot dogs all the time. And I was like, okay, I really miss them, so I got my mum to get them for me. And then they were the most disgusting thing I've ever tried in my life. That's so sad. Oh, it was so wrong. They felt like frankfurters, and you cooked them the same, but the taste was just off.
Really?
Yeah.
What did they
I don't even know. Gross. It tastes like... It just tasted like... I don't even know, like dust.
Dust? Yeah. Wow, love that for them.
Would not recommend.
So there you go. Mm-hmm. Some recommendations and some...
Not recommendations. Some anti-recommendations.
Some avoids. Okay.
Right, thank you for listening, everybody.
Make sure you follow us on all our social medias. Everything linked below. Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.